Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute, Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take blessings of Almighty. The blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with our sessions. So, just a second.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
The blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions. Today, before we start our commemorations for the day, there is an important announcement. As we are celebrating one Mahotsav every year from July 1st to July 7th, the first week, or if it is not a full week, even though from July 1st to July 7th, we are commemorating and celebrating one Mahotsav, that is Forest Festival. As part of that, all the citizens, or for that matter, everyone is encouraged to plant a sapling or a plant or a tree and contribute to the forest development. So, as we know, the number of trees are decreasing day by day, which is affecting the climate and which is impacting the carbon absorption due to less trees and plants on the planet, and also due to pollution in the ocean. So, as we are in the decade of restoration, so we request everyone to plant a sapling. It may be in your house or in your community, in your society. At times it happens, because of this lot of apartment culture, we might not even find some space also to plant a sapling. In that case, what you can do, you can buy a small pot, that earthen pot, which is made of mud, which is eco-friendly, or you can buy a good reusable, recycle plastic or a rubber tub. Generally, these batteries or various other products which are generally sold, batteries can be recycled. But if there is anything that has consumed and it is to be recycled, you can use that and fill it with mud and compost and other, ingredients. And you can plant a sapling and take care of that sapling. See, everyone, it's a high time that we have at least one person, one sapling, or a one plant, or a tree, because the oxygen we take and the carbon dioxide we leave every second of our entire life, that has to be utilized. So if we have a plant along with us in our family, that will consume the carbon dioxide which is left by us. So in that way, there is an immediate impact on the climate. So the moment we are raising a plant or a sapling or a tree in our premises where we live, so we are contributing to the absorption of carbon and other emissions. And not only that, by having a plant in our facility, the temperature also gets cool, because plant absorbs the heat, and it also helps to cool the environment. In that way, it is also good. And if you have, there are various medicinal plants, aromatic plants, herbal plants, and trees where you can plant. And we have, those plants which can completely grow in shades, or partly in shade and partly under the sun. If you have balconies, or if you can get sun rays at some part of the time, at least for 1-2 hours also, you can use that. You can even have the outdoor plants indoors, and whenever there is sun rays, you can move that plant. You can have something, a trolley or a stand on which you can place the plant, or if it is bigger one. If it is a smaller one, then you can move that from regular place to where the sun rays fall, and it will be a great opportunity for you as well as the plant also to grow with sun rays. So, and another benefit is it will purify the air within our environments. Today we have seen, today doesn't mean today, but generally we are more affected by indoor pollution rather than outdoor pollution. Of course, outdoor pollution is harmful, but indoor pollution, because of lack of proper ventilation, proper circulation, and lot of toxins and accumulation of unwanted things in our homes, like maybe unused or devices, or just consuming these old items in our house which are never used. Of course, rarely, yearly once, at least in a year, if we are using them once, that is also fine. But we have certain things we don't use for years together. They are lying in our, low roofs or shelves or cupboards, which we might think it is of some use. But just see, if it is not used for 3 to 4 years, or at least 5 years and more than that, then that is not worth occupying your space. Because one thing is that you are not using it, so you have to clean it and you have to maintain it. That needs your time, efforts. Of course, not always money, but sometimes, certain things also require money apart from time and energy to clean and maintain it. So see whichever is there where you can utilize it, and you can dispose it, or you can share it with others, those who require them, or you can recycle it so that it will be useful, or make use of it. At least if you are not using it, try to make use of it. If you don't require it, you can sell it off in seconds, so that someone else, some family or someone who needs it can have it. Otherwise, you can also donate to NGOs or even schools or colleges also, where government colleges or, for that matter also certain private colleges or institutions or NGOs, old age homes, where they require certain things which you may not require it. So that is also one opportunity where we can contribute to the cause. So let's take pledge, and as part of this one Mahotsav, we are also organizing from 7th to 9th till 7th across India and even abroad, also inspired by one Mahotsav. We are planting trees. So what you have to do, just if you don't get any opportunity to plant a sapling or a tree outside, you can buy one recycled container, or you might find something in your home which is old or which is not used. You can use that and fill it with mud, and you can get one sampling from outside or somewhere where you have plenty of trees, or you can approach your nearest nursery where you can get a plant and plant it, and you can take a photo of it and also a video if possible, and you can make presentation from 7th till 9th. So 3 days we are having International One Mahotsav, that is Forest Festival, online, virtual. So there is no barrier of time, space, and location. From your own home or office, you can take picture and you can take video also, along with the plant details. The plant or sapling details, why you have planted that. There might not be a specific reason every time, because you wanted some sapling that was available for you. It was more of convenience rather than a purposeful, because every plant or a tree, irrespective of whether it gives flowers or fruits, it always takes in carbon dioxide and gives in oxygen. It always absorbs the heat and gives in, the coolness. So no matter, but if you want to make even a better benefits of it, you can have something that is edible or which gives us some aroma or flowers or fruits. There are multi-purpose plants which can be used for various purposes. So, because nowadays people are becoming more materialistic, more, profit-oriented, or more ROI, return of investment oriented. So in that case, you can also have something like kitchen garden, or you can grow something, or the best thing you can do is have tulsi plants in your home. Have two, one for worshipping. Generally, if you don't like worshipping, or if you have a different perspective of that, you can leave it. But you can have a tulsi plant even if you are not worshipping, because tulsi plant, why I am telling to have two if you have an idea of worshipping, or if you are in practice of worshipping, because generally a worshipping plant has a lot of belief associated, lot of emotions associated. Because if we daily keep plucking and eating one tulsi leaf or 2-3 leaves, that is very good for our health, and it is also scientifically proved. It also purifies, and daily while consuming milk or tea or coffee, whatever you are taking, with that, if you consume one milk, or even without that, if you consume one leaf every day, you can keep doctor and hospital away from you. So these are, time-tested remedies which are validated, which are reliable, which have evidence. These are evidence-based practices. These are being practiced from more than 5,000 years and ago. and beyond. So no need to worry. You can just pluck one leaf and you can consume it daily, morning and evening, at whatever time, whenever you have some time. And or whenever you water them, you know take one leaf and you can consume it. It is also good for health. So if there are many such plants which are medicinal or herbal also. If you grow that, that is also contributing to your health and well-being. Or there are some aromatic plants where it gives you good aroma, and there are especially like lemongrass or jasmine. These are plants which give you aroma also. And apart from that, you have these mosquito repellents. If you keep, like, even tulsi is also mosquito repellent, and even lemongrass is also mosquito repellent, and also it has a lot of health benefits. You can consume it like a tea, or you can use that oil, extract oil, and you can use for various purposes. So similarly, you can do some research. We will have some sessions also on these days. Apart from these, anyone who have planted, you can take some time. Then you will be given, if it is for plant or or a tree sapling that you have presented, you will be given time accordingly, a very short time, because it doesn't require much time for that, for presentation. Maybe a couple of minutes, where you can present your activity in this one Mahotsav, like how many plants, or at least one sapling you can, or at least if you cannot prepare by yourself, you can go to nursery, buy one plant, or prepare one. If that is not possible, go get one plant on that day, keep it and maintain it, and geotag, enable, in your mobile or your camera, enable geotagging, and you can share it. And if possible, do a little bit of research on how that plant is useful. Maybe there are certain plants where every part of the plant is useful, like banana tree. That, of course, that is a plant also. So this banana, every part of that plant is used. And if you see coconut, every plant of that is used. Even if you take tulsi also, every part of the plant is used. There is no part that cannot be used. Of course, we can say every plant, there is a wood. Wood can be, timber is a great resource from plants. So anyway, in that matter, plants can be used, but these are completely edible. These coconut, of course, only coconuts are edible, and other things, it is used for making coir, mattresses, and other coir products. And apart from that, various other plants also you can grow. You just see how much space is available, and accordingly, as per your convenience, you plan, you do some research, basic research, or you visit a nursery. He or she who is maintaining the nursery will be able to guide you and get you a good plant. So at least if you don't have something, have at least any plant, at least that will take out, consume what you are exhaling, carbon dioxide. And nowadays, we have opportunity to get carbon credits when we plant a tree or when we plant a sapling, because a lot of carbon emissions and other greenhouse gas emissions are happening. So if you do this, and you officially document and submit to the concerned authorities, you can also earn a certificate saying that you are contributing to the reduction of carbon emissions. So like this is generally now available in industries, where industries must have green cover in their establishment, so that these emissions and lot of workers, they are there now, so that lot of greenery, even in apartments, residential areas also, though many are not following, maximum people are not following, but even we have rules in every municipal corporation or panchayat also. We need to have these um, some certain portion of area that is designated for green area, where we can have plants. It can be of any plant of your choice, doesn't matter, but some greenery should be there so that it can consume, the carbon dioxide, and it can give out sufficient oxygen for your family or for the people inhabitant in that building. So this is a wonderful opportunity. Hope everyone will utilize, and everyone will also get a certificate also for presentation. If you do presentation, like, just if you want to show your sapling, that is also considered as a presentation. So you can go ahead, utilize this opportunity, invite your friends also. Registration link is there. Ask them to register. That will help us to have a record of all these things. And once you have presented, there will be a feedback form that will be circulated. You fill all the details and certificates will be generated, and you can download it from website. So already the link has been updated on the website for this 3 days One Mahotsav, International One Mahotsav. Anywhere on the planet you are staying and you have access to internet, you can participate and present, and also get certificate, and also contribute a lot to the environment. So this was the announcement. So it has been also widely circulated in the groups. If you haven't still yet received, we'll also be sending it through email, maybe today or tomorrow or in a couple of days before that, 7th. So if you haven't received also, you can check our website and you can register and be prepared for the presentation. So for this, you don't need to be highly educated or even for that matter educated, because you can grow even if you haven't studied even ABC or 1 to 3 also. Basic primary also, you can grow plants, trees. I mean, there is no limitation, no discipline, anything. So even if your parents, you encourage everyone within your family, even your children, your parents, whoever, try to get one plant for each member. And on that day, if you can also show, that will be, a motivation and encouragement more than anything else. People will get inspired, and by seeing you, and they might also start having. So this is a very good opportunity for everyone. So let's take pledge and, start one, plant a sapling for us and maintain it, so that at least, our carbon dioxide, which is released by us, can be safely consumed by the planets, and planets give us oxygen continuously, so that we can breathe that oxygen, we can consume that oxygen. So, yes, and today moving to our commemorations. Today we are commemorating Pet Remembrance Day in UK to commemorate beloved companion animals that have passed away. So we know that dogs were the first domesticated animal. So this was created by Pets Magazine and Lars Anderson, founder of RT Lobster, a 3D printing company. On Pet Remembrance Day, pet owners gather together and share fond memories of their deceased pets, their photos and beautiful moments they had when they were alive. So all companions, it's not just limited to dogs, whatever you are having. If you are having dogs or cats or cows or horses or parrots, anything, any pets for that matter. Some keep pets as lions or the tigers, snakes also. It doesn't matter. But your local regulations, you have to check with local regulations if they are not under endangered list or extinction list. That you cannot keep it because we will be not able to take care of them unless and until you have dedicated time and commitment towards it. Otherwise, they are, they need certain habitat, certain settings where they can thrive. So on Pet Remembrance Day, pet owners gather together and share fond memories of their deceased pets, their photos, and the beautiful moments they had when they were alive. And all companion animals are celebrated on Pet Remembrance Day, including it may be dogs, cats, horses, ferrets, anything. So the history of pet ownership can be traced to when human beings began to domesticate animals. It is believed that the dogs were first animals to be domesticated, and they also became the first pets. According to archaeological evidence, human ownership of dogs as pets dates back to 12,000 years ago. Scholars believe that the main reason for this companionship between humans and dogs was the benefits they derived from each other. So with the dog's speed, powerful jaws, and tracking abilities, they helped humans catch prey while they got back a constant supply of food and warmth. Around this period, human began burying dogs and cats with their owners, and they were sometimes given notable burials with high value items placed in their graves. So during antiquity, Middle Easterns began using horses in chariot battles, a practice that has spread to the rest of the old world, including ancient Greece and ancient Rome. This practice led to affectionate relationship between humans and horses. One of the popular examples is relationship between Alexander the Great and his horse. And Bucephalus, in ancient Egypt, people began giving names to their dogs between the 17th and 18th centuries. The British elite were only people who kept pets in Britain, symbolizing their social and economic status. Even in India, so this is all West because this commemoration is in UK, but in India, we have these pets as part of family because most of us, Indians especially, most of them came from agrarian families because we had agriculture. So even now also, India is highly dependent on agriculture because we have huge population, and we have the highest population in the world, and we need to feed them every day, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, whatever times they consume, even at least a single meal. We have to feed. There is no other way to get away with agriculture. If agriculture and farming is lost, people will die with hunger. So it is also very important for us, and it also provides lots of livelihood and economy and trade. So we have seen, cattle was part of the family. Earlier, the status was recognized, you were more wealthier if you had more cattle because, cows, they are symbol for wealth and prosperity because from cow, you will get milk, you will get urine, you can cow dung and urine are used as organic fertilizers. And they are eco-friendly, they are natural, and they are organic. So they are used in fields, even in gardens, as a manure, so that plants grow healthy and have good yields. And in similar way, they are used as companion animals. They were at home guarding and providing emotional, social, physical support also, because they were also used in transport they were coming along with their family members, going to fields. They were carrying and, the necessary things to the field and even produces it. So now we have tractors and all of the things. But before that, we had this, our animal companions, like a family members, they were treated. So they were used for transport purpose also. And they were used for agriculture activity. And, with the milk, we prepare a lot of things. Dairy industry, entire dairy industry starts with the input of milk. With milk, we can make a lot of things. From milk, you can prepare curd. From curd, you can prepare again buttermilk, and as well as ghee, butter. And from butter, we prepare ghee, and then with cheese, paneer, and whatnot. Ice creams and sweets, koa. So that's how, that's every part of the cow was useful, even the excreta of cow, that is cow dung and urine. Cow dung was used even as a firewood, and they are used as a pesticide. They used to sprinkle mixed with water so that, they would have prevented these insects and other things coming inside. So they had various benefits of that. See, for that matter, if we compare this cow with any other pet, you will not get that benefits. Say, suppose you have a dog or cat. Can you use it? Can you use the shit of cat or dog for any purpose? No, you cannot use. Can you get any other benefit? Of course. See, we are not trying to discriminate. What we are trying to do is, because nowadays we have become more, conscious and more, productive, yielding. So instead of having, and the expenditure is almost same or even more for pots, cats, dogs, and other things. But see, having a cow, how much benefit you are getting. You are physically, you are getting benefit. Socially, you are getting benefit. Emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and economically also, you are getting benefit. You are daily getting milk. And of course, you need to feed it. That is there, even if we have one family member also, we have to feed them, and they are also productive. Similar way, if we have pets which are more productive, all the benefits that any other pet can give, these cows can give. And that is a great opportunity, that to have cows as pets and get all the benefits, even more than dogs and cats. But anyway, that doesn't matter as long as you have pets. So pet ownership became an element of Berkeley's culture with the advent of middle class in the 19th century. By the end of the 19th century, pet keeping and care had grown into large industry in most of Europe and the United States. So pets are becoming more important as an element of human socio-economic life. Aside from companionship, they bring economic benefits to their owners as well as enjoyment through pet shows, TV shows, movies, and social media. So first, you need to allow yourself to grieve when you lose your pet. We all know what, how it is like if you are losing your pet, what it takes to digest that. Even we all have gone through it, at least those who have, cattle with them, or those who had pets. Now, I have also gone through, loss of pet. I also lost few pets from my childhood. We used to have a lot of cattle with us. Though we live in city, we have farming lands and other things in our village, and we used to have a lot of cattle with us. And we used to have, as part of our, we had a huge house. Generally, in rural areas where we have this agricultural land, even the house is as big as, at least minimum 1-2 acres. Apart from, again, we have this cow shelter, and again, we have some space dedicated for storing all the agriculture produce, and, some open space where we used to have these big neem trees and mango trees. The typical rural background or setup, the traditional houses, very big house, and lot of space around, greenery around, lot of plants around. And as part of house, we have all these hens, ducks, and even dogs are, though dogs are not raised, they are there, the dogs, they keep breeding and they keep multiplying, and a lot of hens and all these things. So they are generally, they are not commercially bred. When that's a difference between industrial farming and which are grown in the backyard or front yard or within our compounds. They multiply, keep multiplying, and so that's how we have different kinds of animals and birds in our houses. And because of having these big trees like neem tree, mango tree, and other trees, lot of birds come and take shelter in these trees. We see a lot of parrots and cuckoos and lot of birds. And because of the rich diversity, we have a lot of monkeys and other things also. They don't harm generally, because they're, as long as their needs are met, and they are also well going, unless and until something happens and there is a conflict between animal and human, so they try to harm them. But that conflict is now becoming more and more evident, because there we are encroaching into the forest, we are destroying, there is no water in the forest, and they are not properly maintained, conserved, so there is no food there. Now what those poor animals will do? They also have equal rights as we have on the planet. They are also equal shareholders of the planet and resources, but we are only consuming all the water and other things, and they are not getting their rightful share. So they are coming into our habitats and trying to, survive. They are not in a greedy mode. They are in the survival mode. So they come, and try to keep themselves alive with all the resources, whatever they get. So that's how this animal and, conflict are happening. Instead, what we can do, if we maintain at least whatever lost is lost, we cannot do anything. But whatever is available, let's not encroach, let's not destroy the rich ecosystems, forests, and their habitats. If we can maintain those habitats, at least, and if we can make them more biodiversity rich, they get all the water, food, and trade requirements. And they also never want to, get in conflict with the human beings, because they never wantedly came into conflict of any human beings. They follow strictly universal rules and principles of law. We are not following because we are exploiting, we are killing animals, poaching, hunting, all kinds of animals and birds we are consuming. And what not we are doing, we are violating all the natural rules and laws. We are encroaching into their habitats, killing them. But they never, unless and until you encounter. Even we have seen many people who have entered jungle also returned back safe, because they know until they are hungry, they don't even hunt. There is a rule also. They strictly follow animals. Unless and until they are hungry, they don't even hunt also. They never hunt for the sake of hobby or passion or, for sport or game. Only when they are hungry to meet their hunger, they hunt and they eat whatever it is. The herbivorous they eat plants, or the carnivorous, they eat animals. Well, that is natural food chain. They are dependent on. But we see human beings, in spite of having a lot of alternative, we still, we are highly becoming carnivorous. We are eating a lot of meat, which is causing a huge impact to the environment and all these things. So all these things impact our environment. So when we have that kind of association with the pets and living beings around, we share that bonding. Then we know how a family member is lost within our family. That kind of pain and grief we go through when we lose our pet also. So we have memorial service for the pets also. And we have a pet support groups almost everywhere. And you can also reach out to a counselor, psychologist, therapist, social worker who will help you. And you can also help other pets because they also keep aging. Unless and until you have something like, these tortoise or turtles, not turtles, they live less, maybe 20 to 30 years, but tortoise, they live longer. Sometimes they outgrow us, 200, 300 years. So at that case, they will be grieving that, because everyone has to leave this world because we keep aging and we have taken birth, so we need to die. That is common for everyone. So the pets, especially which outlive us, they grieve for us. And those pets where we outlive them, we grieve for their loss. So it is common for us. So most of them, when we are talking about dogs, cats, or for that matter, horses or cows, they have a very less lifespan, somewhere around 10 to 30 years. Dogs have around 10 to 12 years or maximum 15 years. So similarly, every animal has its own lifespan, like we have. No? So similarly, so when you have gone over your loss, you can look into adopting a new pet, or you can do service to other animals also. You can find a number of ways. So, and losing pet is painful, like losing a family member, because of the emotional connection between the owner and the pet, and especially when it is treated as a family member. These pets are not just animals, but a companion and a family member and a bundle of unconditional love, joy, and comfort. So you can hold a memorial service. Organizing a memorial service in honor of your pets is one of the most wonderful ways. Or otherwise, volunteer at animal charities. Helping other pets is one of the ways you can relieve the pain of losing your pet and also positively contribute to the fight against animal cruelty. You can also volunteer at an animal shelter or one of the local animal charities in your area. If possible, you can also organize sponsored walk or events or race or a bake sale or anything that would at least get people together and or raise funds or create awareness and also help abused pets and domestic animals. And the final way is always there. Another way to celebrate Pet Remembrance Day is to give an animal a home. By rehoming a pet, you help save them from being euthanized. A lot of, the PETA, which we always, always keep promoting themselves. They also kill every day. Not every day, at least on every day, but occasionally, that is, or at least regularly, as per their thing. They also kill a lot of animals in their own shelters. You know why? Because they are not getting adopted and they cannot keep more and more pets because their facilities are limited and they cannot leave pets outside. Again, that will create another issue. So they keep euthanizing, they keep killing them. See, at the end of the day, we are taking, they are rescued only to be provided a life, for their new home. But as there are no adopters, there are no adoptions that are happening at an sufficient rate or adequate rate, at par with the rescues or rehabilitation, and to house new pets and other things, they keep killing the pets. So that is the most unfortunate. An organization that is working for animal rights, that is for animal cruelty, they themselves are, committing cruelty towards animals and killing them. Of course, they have their own version that they are also helpless. No one is adopting. They cannot keep them because they need to take care of new animals also. So certain things keep happening. Most unfortunate. That is the darker side of various animal welfare organizations that happen. They have their own challenges. We are not blaming anyone, but see, this is what happens. So that's why always try to adopt, and prevention is always better than cure. So we can get the animals sterilized so that they do not multiply so fast, so early, and to so many, so that it becomes, not manageable. So if we look at some interesting facts of pets, cats sleep for about 70% of their lives, up to 16 hours a day. They are huge sleep lovers. And fish are the most popular pets in the United States, followed by cats and dogs. Yeah, even here also we see a lot of aquariums or fish bowls in our houses or sweet homes and offices, even establishments. So fish continue to be the most popular pet. And dogs sweat through their paws. That because their sweat glands are located between the paws, you can see. And once cats reach maturity, they stop meowing to themselves and only meowing to communicate with the humans. So cats only meow to humans. And cats have a long memory. Cat memories can last up to 16 hours, longer than monkeys and orangutans. Every minute an animal suffers abuse. Dogs, cats are mostly being the victims of the abuse. Pet Remembrance Day can serve as an opportunity for those that care for pets and animals in general to take care action against animal cruelty. They can volunteer at an animal shelter, organize an animal cruelty awareness program, or raise funds for their animal charities. So do the way you can contribute. So apart from that, we have today is commemorated as Mechanical Pencil Day in US. Mechanical pencils have so many uses in classroom and workplace. Even if you use pencils, all your written work, we often do draft calculations and writings with pencils to avoid making an error in our final copy. So while the word prefers digital forms of communication, mechanical pencils make writing and design easier and add a personal touch to them. And this day celebrates the marvelous invention and encourages more people to take up the lost art of writing with pencils. So celebrate the day by penning heartfelt notes to your loved ones with mechanical pencils. So pencils have been around for quite good time. The first pencils were created around the time when graphite mines were being discovered in Europe. In the early 16th century, the first prototype of pencil was designed by Conrad Sensor in 1565. Gessner. He was a Swiss naturalist and bibliographer. The first pencils were graphite sticks wrapped in a string. Later, they were inserted into wooden tubes so that they can be sharpened. It was easier to write with a wooden pencil tube. The first mechanical pencil was developed in 1822 by Samson Model and John Isaac Hawkins in Britain. These pencils had tools to move the lead, which means the user no longer had to manually sharpen the lead. Following its invention, many companies began mass producing mechanical pencils. Today, mechanical pencils come in three types: ratchet-based, clutch-based, and screw-based. Are available in different varieties of lead width and have multiple frames and could have a body of plastic, metal, or wood. Though mainly used for writing, mechanical pencils are very useful for creating art and designs too. Since mechanical pencils are so sleek, it makes it easier to create fine details that may be difficult otherwise. And of course, there's no need to use a pencil sharpener. Mechanical Pencil Day celebrates the history of mechanical pencils. They are pencil collectors who collect antique mechanical pencils. Today is also commemorated as Work Without Your Hands in United States, which is inspired by the famous cartoon series SpongeBob SquarePants in it. The heroes celebrate fictional and real-life holidays: Annoy's Squidward Day, Employee Brotherhood Day, Free Balloon Day, or Work Without Hands Day. It is a day when no one is in bikini bottom, uses their hands at work. Americans love this cartoon, so that they decided to celebrate this holiday with SpongeBob. It is a celebration for all children and adults who also love this. So SpongeBob SquarePants is an American animated series by Nickelodeon TV channel. So SpongeBob has gained a reputation as a series with good, but at the same time, stupid humor, unexpected plot, and original scenes. This is one of the biggest animated Nickelodeon TV series that today is also commemorated as a Pinball Day. Is observed on the following Monday. So the members of Finbal, the Isle of Man's legislature, proceed to Twinland Hill after a religious ceremony. After these proceedings, the members will return to the Royal Chapel where formal sitting of Twinbal takes place. This meeting dates back to 10th century and is also known as Midsummer Court. The promulgation of the acts takes place on Finbal Day, and the promulgation is certified at the sitting of Finland at the village of St. Thomas. A petition for redress may be presented by anyone approaching Finland Hill. The petitioners can take up and members to one. So it is a ceremony that has remained consistent and unchanged for over thousands of years, and no matter parliament has such a unbroken record. The annual outdoor sittings of Fenwald are said to date back to 8th century, when the Viking settlements were first established. Some claims date its origins back to 979 AD, making it the world's largest or longest continuous parliament. Today is also commemorated as National Workaholics Day in US. It is meant to remind us to find a good balance between our work and home. In general, workaholics tend to put before almost everything. These include the work ethic has changed many times over the centuries. During the 16th century, Puritans refined work as an obligation that benefited everyone in society, and the eyes of good works were formed, and they viewed diligent work as a sign of grace, while Catholics saw work as a requirement and a manifestation of the faith they received. There is also commemorated National Graham Crackers Day. The extremely renowned crackers made for great s'mores, pie bases, and crispy crumb coating graham crackers were originally invented as a healthy alternative to eating other foods and were thought to cause epilepsy, tuberculosis, and a range of other illnesses. The recipe for crackers today is also commemorated as National Apple Turnover Day in US. So, especially you add portability to the equation. Apple turnovers are one of the most popular pie recipes out there. They're sweet and tangy flour mixed with spices. Today is also commemorated various days commemorating various occasions. Like today is also Armenia Constitution Day for the people who defend it, and Foreign's Locus Day. Nation's culture resides in the hearts and soul. Its people. And even today is also Independence Day in Algeria. After 80 years of war, Algeria has gained its independence. Today is also Apple Turnover Day. Bite into the crispy and flaky goodness to enjoy the crumbs, sumptuous flavors of the apple turnover. So with this, we shall end today's commemoration. Thank you everyone for joining us. We request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form for the day. The registration link has been already shared in the chat box. We have 5 minutes to fill the feedback form raised in the form of polls. We request everyone. Those who have not registered can register with the link shared in the chat box. Dear friends, quickly fill up the feedback form raised in the form of polls. Those who have not registered for today's webinar, the link has been shared for the registration form. So see you all tomorrow at the same time at 6 o'clock. Take care. Good night.